Hello, everyone. Welcome to Pages of Ascension. My name is Tia. Thank you for joining me. So this weekly reading is going to be for air signs. That is Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And while I am doing this reading during March 17th or for March 17th through the 23rd, I'm a big fan of it. You come across it when you come across it. Time is an illusion, so don't get hung up on that. This is more for my filing purposes to know when I did it. So I like to see how the energies play out. My readings are intended to be timeless, signless, and genderless, which is really funny saying genderless now after the class I just came from. But we're going to continue to go with it. Maybe I'll change that up next week. Yeah, that's a whole tangent I'm just not going to go into right now. So yes, let's see here. What else? Messages may or may not resonate depending on your situation. Again, square peg, round hole. If it don't fit, don't try to make it. All right. So we're just going to go ahead and jump right in. The energies for air signs for this upcoming week. Air signs for this week. Oh, I was to say, since when do y'all not want to talk? Oh, the Hierophant. Okay. So that's interesting. Got some structures and potentially outdated belief systems coming up this week. Oh, yes. That absolutely need to be released. Oh, my goodness. Oh, now they're really talking. Okay, and then we have the High Priestess. We have the Eight of Discs. So the Eight of Pentacles. It's a card of hard working. And then we have the Lovers. Okay. Bottom of the deck. Ace of Swords. So we're kind of continuing on from last week, in which there's a truth that needs to be spoken. So let's see here. Yeah, the fact that, oh, actually, plot twist. Okay, so initially, my initial impressions are, the Hierophant is old out. What I'm picking up is old, outdated belief systems, and needing to incorporate the new, how do I say this? New messages, new synchronicities, new information that's coming into you, that's coming to you, that's making you actually question some of the longer held beliefs that you have. This could be revolving around work. More realistically, I think this is more concerning physical security and what you deem to be the apex of physical security. This could also be in reference to a romantic relationship, especially because we have the Hierophant and the High Priestess on the board. In my mind as a reader, these two are counterparts. So the fact that the Lovers is also on the board, it could have to do with love. I do pick up more that this has to do with potentially your programming and what you consider your definition of security. Let me put it that way. Okay. So yeah, it could be coming into balance about the two, integrating the two belief systems that are now being presented to you in your path. Here. Just a little bit. There we go. Sorry about that. Tiny space. Okay. So, yeah, I think this is the energy of trying to integrate both sides of a belief system, both sides of the path you have chosen, and trying to determine how that ties into your belief system about security. It could be that you feel like you're being presented with a choice, which is what the Lover's card ultimately is about, is choice. And trying to determine if uh, which direction to go. Now, here's the thing. Specifically, if this is about a belief system or someone communicating a belief system, as the Ace of Swords, is kind of running the energy of this reading, recognize that they're all kind of the same thing, at least in my mind. So here's my 2 cents on this when it comes to belief systems. They're all kind of piggybacking off of each other. Some explain some things, I think, better than others, but effectively they're all saying the same thing. So even though you have this thought form that you must choose which one to follow, you don't. They are the same thing. They are both you. They're both integrated into the same aspects or beliefs, even though it doesn't seem like it. So it's like trying to say Buddhism and Wiccanism or let's say Buddhism and paganism are two separate sides and two separate stories, when they actually tell the same story, in my mind anyway. So in any case, in trying to make the choice in which direction to go, obviously this is saying be a little restrictive with your finances. Don't just go spending with both hands. But I think ultimately this idea that you have that you need to make a choice, there is no choice. These two are counterparts. They're two sides of the same story. There's no choice to make. You just need to integrate this energy. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the clarifiers and see what we come up with. So immediate split, that's very interesting. We've got tourmaline and chlorite. I've got actual chlorite sitting on my table right now. You can't see it because it blends in really well. But isn't that pretty? Okay. I love crystals. Okay. So yeah, let's see what else comes out. Okay. Let's make sure to get all these within frame here. Forgive the tiny, tiny space. Excuse me. All right, so the Hierophant, 10 of Cups, copper, which is great for dealing with pests. And the King of Cups. So those are interesting. We'll see if those come back out. Ace of Pentacles. Okay. This is about love. Like I said, it was two separate storylines, at least coming through with that, being prudent with your finances, making the choice of what to buy. It could be even, and this is kind of weird that I'm getting, so definitely comment below if this resonates, but it could be the choice between going to a spiritual leader, such as a pastor, versus going to someone for a psychic reading. Like feeling like there's a choice that you need to make on that. And my opinion is to go for both, because they each have their their aspects that can be used to help you integrate both sides of self. Bottom of the deck is Ace of Coins. So we've got the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Coins matched with the King of Cups, which would be a solid offer, a solid emotional offer, and then the 10 of Cups, which would be emotional fulfillment. And these are all under the Hierophant. So I think specifically for those that this is involving love, that you do have an offer coming in, and it's a solid one. This person is a little bit more structured, I'll say. They definitely inhabit uh, very masculine energy, very dominant energy, very structured energy. This is the way we do it. This is the way it's been done. That type of energy, not necessarily in a negative sense. So, like, I'm not getting that anywhere in here at all. But when they speak the truth. They don't BS around, like, at all. It's actually kind of awesome, right? A lot of people tend to like to BS. So I actually find this type of energy refreshing. I also come up as the high priestess a lot, so maybe that has something to do with it. But in any case, we do have counterparts on the board, and with the King of Cups coming in as an offer, the Lovers, and the Ten of Cups, I would definitely say that this is a solid offer coming in, potentially from someone who has significant water in their chart. But we have the High Priestess on the board, and why the High Priestess can often represent a water sign, typically Pisces for some people. I consider the High Priestess to be a lot like the Magician, which is that they can embody any sign at all. The fact that this is an air sign reading means it's probably a Gemini, but not necessarily. So don't get too caught up on that. But this is someone, the Priestess, they can shapeshift. They can take on, they're like the chameleon. They can be in any energy that they need to be in to remain safe, or to be able to empathize. Like, they're like psychic sponges. They pick up everything. So if they're around someone who's angry, they're more likely to end up angry. If they're up around someone who's very emotional, they're going to be around they're going to end up being emotional. Happy, then they tend to be overjoyingly happy, so on and so forth. These are highly empathic people, and it is not restricted to females. Okay, so when you're embodying the energy of the priestess, there is no gender, because the priestess shapeshifts. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the actual priestess since we're talking about it. But yeah, as far as the Hierophant is concerned and the clarifiers, I'd say that this is definitely an offer that's coming in. That's hilarious. Okay, so Three of Coins and the Queen of Coins. Okay, so that's Earth energy. So this could be someone who is got Earth in their chart, or it's just someone who's very grounded. We do have the Five of Wands, so this could be someone that there is a conflict with. And because of the fact that the High Priestess is on the board, it makes me think that you're not entirely sure either what caused the conflict or why there's conflict. It's like the reasoning behind the conflict is one big secret that you haven't been let in on. But I think the truth is coming out about this. So just chill out. All things in due time when they're meant to present themselves. So what's interesting is that this stone, the reason why I was laughing is the stone rhodonite, which is associated with the Three of Coins, which equals teamwork. Rhodonite is actually a stone that helps you to find your path, your true path, your life path. Which is so ironic. I actually just purchased this stone today from one of my local esotericas, as I like to call them. It's a stone that I just kept running across, like with I had my own synchronicities for this stone, let me put it that way. But the fact that it's coming up in this reading for you, air sign, I think that, like I said, this is someone who is highly empathic. They're like a psychic sponge. This is someone who's very spiritually gifted. Okay. And rhodonite being the card coming up underneath that as a clarifier lets me know that not only are you supposed to connect to nature spirits, like your gifts may be more highlighted when you're in nature. Okay. But that this is a time for you to also look at further developing your gifts and getting more solid in your gifts and walking into your life's path and life purpose. Okay. It could be that you're also dealing with someone who is a high priestess or embodies the priestess nature. And this is energy that they are stepping into while you're stepping into, I want to say, balancing the masculine aspect of spirituality versus the feminine aspect of spirituality. There we go with that duality. Yeah, and actually, I'm gonna say too, especially with the King of Cups popping up underneath the Hierophant, because this is labradorite. There's also an ancestral connection here, so this kind of makes me think, especially if this is kind of representing a person or a union, opposites, twin flame, however you want to put a label on that. This is past life energy as well, is kind of what it's telling me, especially because the labradorite popping up and the rhodonite popping up in here. Yeah, there's some past life energy kind of lingering around in this reading. I feel like that's further influenced by the lovers, but we'll see what else comes up. So prudence, 8 of discs. What do we have for this? I get 2 clarifiers for this. Okay, that's one. I can get one more clarifier. Okay, so we'll flip this one. Page of Cups. Rhodochrosite. Oh my gosh, this is hilarious. This is so hilarious. And then the Sun card. Oh, that's absolutely beautiful, y'all. Bottom of the deck, we've got Black Tourmaline, which is 9 of Wands. You feel you're on the defense about the situation or this person, and you don't really need to be. I think that they're specifically, this is dealing with the person. I think that this person has good intentions. They embody a certain light. You feel very good when you're around them. You feel very warm when you're around them, which is usually, at least in my mind, a sign of someone that you need to be around. If you're around someone and they don't make you feel, warm and gooey, and they don't make you feel protected, then it's probably not someone you need to be around. So we've got the Page of Cups and the Sun. As the actual card and not the gemstone. I always go straight for the gemstone. So what's so ironic about this is that rhodonite and rhodochrosite are stones that work really, really well together, and they both are in the pink gray and help to embody like love and self-love. So the interesting thing about this is that rhodochrosite is for internal love. It's helping you to develop love of self, whereas rhodonite is outward love. It's how can I serve? How can I serve my community at large? What can I do to help embody the love of the earth and transmute negative energy into positive energy? Okay, so that's super ironic that both of those came out. Actually, this bracelet that I have on right now is rhodochrosite. It's a beautiful stone to work with. So rhodochrosite is the card of Page of Cups. Page of Cups is an offer. It's usually an immature one, but it's an offer, okay? And the fact that the Sun is attached to this, like, if this is financially related, the not restriction, the discipline that you're showing in your budget is actually going to lead to significant financial benefit for you. It might lead to additional offers coming in towards you that will help you gain more financially. In the love arena, this is definitely someone who is, I don't want to say frugal because that's not the right word, but it's someone who works very, very hard for their physical, financial security. And their offer is solid again with the Page of Cups coming up. Immature, albeit immature, but it's solid. I mean, you don't get the Sun card coming out for nothing. It's the best damn card in the deck, straight up, in any deck. Okay? And just look at that sunstone. Isn't that pretty? um, oh man. So, okay. So like I said, for finances, if that's love, if this is just general spiritual enlightenment, because I am getting a very heavy spiritual tone for this particular reading. If this has to do with that, there's a truth that's going to come out. It could have to do with family. Oh, excuse me. Whether that's your lineage, um, whether it's your current family, whether it's a gift that has been passed down through the family, something is about to be highlighted. And as a result of that, it's kind of like spirit is laying out the carpet, it's bringing you a new offer. But you need to be careful about this, because I feel very distinctly that if, and this is coming up again, if you try to logic your way through this, you're going to miss it. You're going to miss this opportunity. And you don't want to do that, because this is an amazing opportunity that is coming in for you. Okay. It's very heart-centered and heart-based, whether this is ending up in a profession that you love, or studying a subject that you love, or even ending up with a person that you love. I mean, keep in mind, we do have counterparts on the board. So this person is someone who gets you on all levels. They get you on the spiritual level, on the physical level. They have the same principles of being frugal with their finances. I really don't like that word, frugal. I'm at a loss for words here. But they embody the same beliefs and elements that you do, which leans a lot more towards the esoteric. Okay. They're in touch with their ancestral lineage. They honor that as well. It's what leads to their blessings. Yeah, Ten of Cups it's wish fulfillment. That is emotional fulfillment. Oh my word. Okay. So, interesting. Yeah, again, don't try to logic your way through this, because it's not going to work. Now, so for to clarify the lovers, you've got the Knight of Wands, which is iron, and then wait for it, the Hierophant, which is diamonds. So spirit is definitely doubling down on this energy of the Hierophant. And the fact that it's clarifying the lovers, I'm going to say this is definitely a reading primarily about love, but it's a love that this energy between you and this other person extends beyond the physical. This is in the etheric realm. So I don't know if you two are able to like communicate telepathically, or just communicate through a look, because I'm seeing a truth here, but I'm seeing it not be spoken so much as felt, if that makes sense, because of these two cards. It's like the Priestess has an inner knowing and the Hierophant has an outer knowing. When you bring those two together, you end up with what's the word I'm looking for? Basically, you end up with telepathic communication. Their inner knowing, your outer knowing, and I feel like you're the Hierophant in this spread, not necessarily the Priestess, but again, it could be vice versa, since another person has presented themselves in this reading. I feel like there's a decision that you're trying to make as to whether or not to rush in and offer this person some type of commitment. My suggestion is that you actually do that, even if it's an immature offer. Like, or I should say, they could also be trying to determine whether or not to rush in and offer you something. And if that's the case, and someone is offering you something, it's literal gold. It's literal gold. This is your person. This is someone who gets you. They make you feel warm. They make you feel protected. And they help you to sort through this old programming, this old familial programming that you have. And this is something that's definitely beneficial for your growth. Getting out of a stuck mindset that the Hierophant can sometimes represent is somewhat blocking your abundance. And I really do feel like, especially because of the fact that they landed next to each other, integrating both of these energies, the esoteric and the physical, the religious and the spiritual, okay? Um, Integrating these two elements of self is going to lead to offers. It's going to lead to financial abundance. It's going to lead to emotional abundance. And realistically, it's going to lead to physical abundance because we've got the lovers here. And then we've got iron. Iron is a very solid metal. It's very important for the body. We don't function all that well without it. We end up very tired. This person energizes you and makes you feel really like you're on top of the world. They make you feel like a freaking diamond. How awesome is that? Yeah, especially with diamonds being the hardest element on earth. The feelings that you have for this person or the energy between you, I distinctly get the feeling that this is something that has been going on for lifetimes, multiple lifetimes. Like I'm getting that very, very, very distinctly. Um, yeah, this is your person. It's not showing me what sign they are, but they embody the Queen of Coins element. They embody a very motherly tone, a very motherly element. Um, yeah, this is beautiful. This is beautiful, y'all. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. Oh, hold on. Before we do that, bottom of the deck for this pile, we've got blue tourmaline, which is the four of coins. So, obviously the four of coins is someone who holds on a little too tight. But the fact that this is blue tourmaline and blue is associated with the throat, um, listen more than you talk when you come back into contact with this person, because I don't feel like you're in contact with this person right now, at least not physically. You are in the ethers, but you're not physically talking right now, which is the reason a truth hasn't come out. And it is coming out. Like, make no mistake, it's coming out, and it's coming out quick. Actually, I'm really surprised the tower didn't come out. Yeah, don't hold on so tight to your opinions and don't talk over this person, okay? There's a lot of information that can be gleaned if you just listen to what they're saying, what the priestess is saying, okay? So let's go ahead and move on to tiny space. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on to what I like to call the map deck. Oh, listen to that pop right there. Ooh. Okay, so let me just say I'm getting super hungry right now. So I'm definitely tapped into some energy here. It's one of my signs that this reading is going where it's supposed to. Okay, so we're going to pull out 2 map cards. And don't get caught up on the shuffling either, because I shuffle a little bit different every single time. Okay, we have home. Oh, that's beautiful. And then we have talisman in reverse. So home is number 27 for those who are in a numerology. That reduces to 9. And then we have 13 for talisman, which reduces to 4. So stable endings leading to, I'm going to say, new beginnings, because we've got a couple of aces that have come up in the reading. So our home card says, oh, okay, make sure there's not like a huge glare. Says home is love. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. Stay the path, security, and own skin. So that was my sum it up for this card. Um, so yeah, don't question whether it's time yet, and I wish I could show you much better detail on this. See, there's a clock right here. Don't hyper focus on why hasn't this happened yet? Why aren't we here yet? Why haven't we done this yet? All in due time. It's just not time yet. Okay? But this is so interesting because of the conversation I had earlier. Home, in my mind anyway, is the embodiment of balance of self. Because realistically speaking, feeling the need to go home, and again, this is just my opinion, but feeling the need to go home signifies, speaks to an imbalance of mind, body, and spirit. Because I feel like when you're in balance, you don't need to seek something outside of yourself for comfort. So home will be within yourself. I hope that that makes sense. So in any case, that's kind of what that card is talking about. Now let's go over to Talisman in reverse. Oh, so I gotta love this. So just let me show it to you in the upright. Right? Pretty friggin' awesome, right? But it appeared in reverse. So it says in reverse, repetitive patterns. If you know where the hole is, walk around it. Not all avenues are available to you at this time. Own that. Ask for advice and assistance. So it could possibly be because you're bouncing between which of these beliefs do I believe? Which decision that I make? There's this duality going on all over this reading, which is kind of a theme for this month. But I feel like there's patterns that you're not seeing. And again, this has to do with you trying to logic your way through this, and you can't logic your way through this. You're going to have to feel your way through this. This has come up. It came up in the daily on Friday, the daily for Friday on Instagram. This also came up in the fire reading, which I'm going to post. I'm going to post it anyway. I'm actually going to redo the fire reading. We'll be on like our fourth try now for that one. But in any case, it also came up in that reading, the fire bonus reading. So if you're connected to a fire sign, I would actually suggest watching that, or even if you've got fire in your chart, there might be some more information for you there. Yeah, there's something you're not seeing. And realistically, it's because it's something you don't want to see. Now, I think it could do, if this is in regards to love for you and that's how it's resonating, this could be due to a person. Like there's something about this person that you're not seeing, and I don't pick up that it's bad, but I think that there might be some underlying pattern in why you are attracted to this person that you haven't quite picked up on yet. And that's important. It's good to understand your underlying motivations for pursuing certain things, certain habits, and certain people. Now, I do think that this person has something to teach you. I do think that this is your person. I'm not going to say that this is just a karmic that's in and out of your life. We got counterparts on the board. We've got lovers on the board. I mean, if you choose to go after this person or go for this person, you two will be very, very happy together. Okay. I do distinctly get that. There's a balance in your energies. It looks like you think quite a bit alike. They embody the energy that you need to proceed on your path. So even, I still feel like this is more than a karmic. But I'm kind of in the camp that everybody's a karmic to some extent. It's what else beyond the karmic relationship that they're teaching you. So this could be like a karmic twin flame thing going on or something or other. Ooh. I hesitate to use that word twin flame because it's very hoity-toity. Yeah, there's a lot that you can learn from this person. But you need to get out of your head about this. You cannot logic your way through this relationship. And I think that that's why it's stalled. That's why there's no communication going on right now. That's why this truth needs to come out, is because you're trying to logic your way through this and you can't. There's an underlying pattern here. There's a lot of emotion though. Yeah, there's an underlying pattern here. It could be that they make you feel like home, and maybe the underlying pattern is that that feeling can lead to codependence because you become so dependent upon that person providing that energy to you to help you feel better, to help you feel warm, that ultimately there ends up being you end up sacrificing the innocence. No, that's not the right word. um it's like it dulls the meaning of the relationship to stick that role on that person. The only responsibility this person has is to themselves for making anybody happy, and it's your responsibility to make yourself happy. So don't get caught in a codependency pattern. Yes, they can make you feel good, they can make you feel warm, they can make you feel loved, okay? But ultimately it is your responsibility, okay? So let's go ahead and move on to the Mystical Moments deck. If you do choose to unite with this person, though, I have a really good feeling about it. There's going to be lots of growth for both of you. Now obviously, if this is a person who's got some super toxic behavior or whatever, I'm obviously not speaking to you. This is not that. This is two people who have very complementary energy, but they express it in different ways. And I think that that might be the hiccup here, the reason that you're not already in union. It's certainly leading to that. Like, at the end of the day, should you make this choice to give them this offer, it does lead to union. It's a choice you have to make. That's why the Lover's card is coming up. Okay. Okay, oopsie. Oh, we have Elixir of Life. So this is a really weird card to me because this card kind of reminds me of death. Hear me out on this, okay? It's the ashen look that she has. And because there's just a black tint to her, so there could be a major transformation that's going on with the situation. That's why it's currently coming up right now, is because of the sheer amount of transformative energy that is embodying between you and this other person. So it says healing, consolidation, reinvigoration, and truth. Again, so we have the Ace of Swords popping up here. So yeah, like I said, there's a truth that's about to be spoken. It goes on to read, a woman is leaning towards a deep red rose. She faces the flower with her eyes. Her eyes closed, concentrating on the lush bloom she is receiving. She's receiving the sweet scent of nature and the energy of life. The wind rustles her hair, whispering truths of the universe into her ears. She can hear her own breath mingling with the wind. Sitting quietly in nature by a stream or in a garden can help still our wandering mind and heal a troubled heart. So, be still. I don't know why I keep getting it so distinctly, but it's like I'm picking up let the ego die so that you can become grounded. I mean, look at all the red in this. If this doesn't speak to the grounding chakra, the base chakra, then the root chakra, then I don't know what does. Just because like when I look at this, I don't see someone who is full of life, even though it's saying elixir of life. This is someone who is about to be reborn. Okay. You've got the wind. The wind carries energy, the energy to wake her up in this picture. And right now she's just still waiting for this energy to basically play itself out. Yeah, you need to be still. I think that there's again a lot of information that can be gained by feeling and not acting. By feeling instead of thinking. By feeling instead of speaking. Feel it. Okay? Let's move on. So, we have our soul journey cards. I like these so much in the reading last week, I decided to incorporate them again. And we do a shuffle cut on these bad boys. Let's see if that comes back up. Oh, y'all really want to talk. Okay. Let's go ahead and... Okay. Huh, that's interesting. Oh, we're going for a long one today. We're at 40 some odd minutes. We're totally gonna recut that. Sometimes they don't cooperate and do it the first time around. But if it's a card that's meant to come up, it will. Every time. It never fails. Okay. So that's very, very interesting. It says confront your opposite polarity. This is such an ironic reading, you guys. You have no idea. So this is actually the same card that came up for the fire signs. So I cannot stress this enough. If you are connected to a fire sign, if this fire sign is someone that you're thinking is your counterpart, if you have fire in your chart, check out this reading. Check out that reading because there is a lot of information in there too about integrating the aspects of duality. So yeah, effectively what this is saying, like, oh my God, this is so interesting. So the hawk, I consider to be the bird of the clairvoyant. So again, it's something that you cannot logic your way through this. This is something that you're going to have to feel your way through in order to see. You're going to have to rely on intuition and your emotion. No, actually not even emotion. You're going to have to rely on your intuition, your third sight, your third eye, in order to figure this out. Like the cavern back here, as I was saying in the fire reading, that's the unknown. That's what's behind her. That's behind the veil that we can't see. Very similar to this priestess energy. Okay. And then we've got the buck, which is very masculine energy. Okay. And then we have the ivy, which is plant of victory. All right. And then sight, inner knowing. Yeah, there's a lot that can be learned by integrating both of these sides of yourself. Okay, so let's look at the soul's journey. Worry. It says, I am learning that worry doesn't change an outcome. So again, this might be why that four of coins came up, because you're holding on to something thinking that if you hold on tight enough that it won't go anywhere, and realistically that's the opposite. It's like chasing a butterfly. The more you chase that butterfly, the more it eludes you. Stop chasing it and it'll land when it's supposed to land, how it's supposed to land, and not a moment beforehand. Okay, so air signs, that's all I've got for you this week. I hope you have a wonderful week. Definitely don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe if this message resonates with you. If you're looking for more daily guidance, you can follow me over on Instagram at Pages of Ascension. I've enjoyed like digging into this for you. Yeah, yeah, I think that's all I've got for you. So definitely have a great week, and I will see you next Sunday.